Welcome everyone to this ninth edition of Options Talk between me and Raghunath. We are sure you're liking this talk every weekend based on the comments and the feedback which we are getting on Twitter and emails and even on the comments on YouTube. And we are continuing it further. And like I said last time, we look forward to getting more suggestions on what more you want, so we can improve it. But for the time being, we are continuing with our old format, and I'll start right away. You can see my trade point screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, based on whatever has happened till Friday, one chart which stands out is this is a relative strength chart, ratio chart between Bank Nifty and Nifty on a intraday basis, which is always 1 minute and 0.1%. You'll see on Friday there was a bearish anchor column here, which is not good for the ratio, which means Bank Nifty underperformed Nifty. So going forward, this will continue to behave like this because this anchor column will be a tough nut to break easily above the high which has been formed on Friday. And going forward, I expect Bank Nifty to underperform Nifty at least for the first couple of sessions. Of course, this is whatever the chart is saying right now. We will have to see how the chart changes going forward on Monday from Monday onwards. But this is what it is from based on Friday closing. Now coming to a chart which everyone is looking forward to, ICICI Bank after the results over the weekend. I have no idea whether the results are good or bad. First of all, even if I have an idea, I'm not sure what the market is looking for, because market expectation is always something different. And it's not just the market expectation, it's also the uh, open interest built up in the FNO space on such stocks. And that governs what the stock will do from Monday onwards. There have been occasions where the results have been fantastic, but the stock has still come down. There have been cases where result has been bad, but stock has just shot up. So let's take a look at the ICICI Bank chart. This is the chart of ICICI Bank cash. This is on a 0.25% box size. This, as you can see, this is a very bullish chart. There is an anchor column over here from all the way from 345 to 391. And if it breaks out above the double top buy, which is 392, which is on a closing basis, that will be a big double top breakout, which will be very, very bullish. But a close above 392 is required. Now, if you look at the, but at the same time, you need to keep in mind that ICICI Bank has a 200 EMA, exponential moving average, near 400. So, like we discussed in Sun Pharma the other day, so crossing, and it's not just a double top buy above 392. After beyond that is the resistance at 400. In fact, last week it tried to go there, but it couldn't. Now, coming to some options data on ICICI Bank, this is the 400 put. Like you can see on Friday morning, it gave a big anchor column all the way from 17 to 32. And going forward, if this gives a follow through buy, which is now above 33, this is the 400 put. In case ICICI Bank gaps down and this put remains above 33, it can go all the way to 50, because this is the 50-55 is the previous high of the previous bearish anchor column. So this level should be kept in mind. 400 put around 33. Coming to the chart of a call, this is a 370 call. Why I took 370 is if you look at the open interest position in ICICI Bank, there is a big open interest in the calls near the 400 level. At the same time, there is a big open interest near the 370 put on the lower side. So 370 might act as a support going forward, which also is a support on the point and pivot chart. And in case it goes down, 370 plus minus the 3-4 rupees has to be looked out for. And if you see the 370 call, this has given a bearish anchor column on Friday, like because ICICI Bank came down. So in case this goes down all the way to maybe 7, which is the low on the chart over here, and if this level of 5 to 7 holds, by that time ICICI Bank should be near 370, because it will be having some premium, because the expiry will be still 4 days away. So this is another level where which one can look for, and in case it shows some bullish action, you can trade the 370 call with a stop loss below this recent low of 6, and that might give a intraday pullback. But all in all, I feel A crossing above 400 is difficult, and a crossing, I mean, going below 370 is difficult. So this is the range where ICICI Bank might play out, not only just Monday but till expiry. So 370 to 400 plus minus 3 to 5 rupees. At the same time, the stock is bullish as long as it closes above 370. So in case someone is looking for delivery to buy on a dip, that will be a good place to buy delivery. So that is another thing which is not FNO based but simple chart based reading. Now, coming to another stock which a lot of people have been stuck and have got frustrated with the moves is State Bank. First of all, you need to keep in mind the bearish relative strength chart of Bank Nifty with Nifty. Only ICICI Bank might not be enough to take Bank Nifty lower, so SBI is another heavyweight. And if you look at this chart, 197, 198, it's not just a single level which is important. If you see the multiple number of tops it has made near 197 to 200, unless it breaks up above that and closes above that, SBI is going to remain sideways. So that is the first thing which is apparent from this chart. At the same time, if you look at the huge open interest at the 200 call, a cross and close above 200, 202, and if the open interest starts getting covered, then it can see a huge run up, maybe even 5 to 10%, like 210, 220. But keep an eye on the open interest of the call of 200 strike price. As of now, I find it unlikely to do this expiry. For the simple reason that if you look at this 200 put, this also gave a bullish anchor column from the lows because everyone knows it closed strong on Thursday but suddenly came down on Friday. And this has two bullish anchor columns. So unless this low of Thursday, which is 6 on the 200 put breaks, SBI might continue to underperform, and I don't think it is ready to cross 200 in a hurry. So I don't think SBI might cross 200 this expiry. This is my reading based on the current data. How it changes, we'll have to see. On a point and figure chart of the stock, like we did with ICICI Bank, SBI also is a strong chart, but it has gone sideways. And this sideways is what is frustrating the option buyers, and that is rightly so. But if you see there is a huge anchor column from the lows near 150, then there is another good bullish column, which is again another anchor column from 180. So as long as the SBI closes above 180, it continues to be bullish. So again, for delivery purpose, if someone wants to buy on a dip with a stop loss below 175, 180, it is a good stock to hold for delivery, irrespective of the options. Now, another chart which shows some bearishness in Bank Nifty is this 22,500 put. Here again, this had a bullish anchor column on Friday morning from 210 to 480. And if this 480 is crossed, or even if it crosses a 45-degree trend line from here, which is near 400. So even if this crosses on Monday morning, if in case Bank Nifty underperforms, then this can be traded above 400. Of course, the stop loss will be below 300. It is a bit wide stop loss, but then you can use the morning low with some cushion. So this also points out to a bearish action in Bank Nifty. At the same time, this is a 22,500 straddle of Bank Nifty. This is a completely weak straddle. And if you see the anchor column here, 1030 is the high of the anchor column on Friday morning. So this will continue to act as a resistance. On the lower side, if you see the constituents right now, the call is 441 and the put is 335, and the straddle is going down. The call is the dominating leg, which means Bank Nifty is likely to go down further because the call will come down and that will take the straddle down. So this also points out to bearish action in Bank Nifty. Now coming to Nifty, 11,100 straddle. This is also weak, which comprises of call, which is 147, and put, which is 77. And naturally, the call is the dominating leg, and this is also going down. So I expect this to continue down further because the chart says so, and which means that even Nifty is likely to drift down. Now another chart of Nifty put 11,200. There was an anchor column on Friday morning here. I'll just mark the day separators. On Friday morning, there was an anchor column, and these lows are near 100, 110, let's say 150, I mean, to be safe, 100, 110. So if this put does not break 100, 110 on Monday, this is a very good put to buy with a good risk reward ratio. And if it crosses the Friday high, this can go much higher, in which case Nifty will become weak. So then, I mean, what will drag Nifty? We all know Bank Nifty will drag Nifty. But at the same time, this is a 11,000 call chart. If you remember, a couple of weeks back, I had drawn your attention to this level of 155, which it sustained and went all the way to 266. Here again on Friday, this has taken support near 150, which was the previous resistance. And there is a 45-degree trend line, which is near 145, 150. So even on a dip, right now the call is 218. So even if Nifty dips and this call does not break, let's say 140, 145, which means Nifty might remain range bound. So for this call to go to 140, 145, which is about 70 points dip, Nifty might dip by about 100 points. So again, the old support area, which is near 11050, 11090, that will come into picture, and that these are the levels you need to keep in mind. So that's all from my side, and lots of charts today. And any questions, Raghunath, or I can hand it over to you?
Yes, lots of charts. I had one question on, I think, ICICI Bank.
Okay.
So there was this call chart which you showed.
Yeah.
If
I'll
you can
open it.
show. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a 370 call.
Yes. So if this breaks out above like 28, this is a buy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. In that, in fact, of course, no one will buy so much in the money, because by the time ICICI will be above
Okay.
400, in which case we need to go to the 400 call.
400 call, okay.
I'll just show the 400 call. 1 minute. So this is the 400 call. In that case, if that happens, this 400 call will give a breakout above the previous high, or it will go and resist near 12.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
In case ICICI becomes bullish, I mean, you never know what is going to happen. So maybe it crosses 390, it crosses 395, it crosses 400. In that case, this call, which is a 3% chart, this above 13 rupees can go all the way to 20 rupees.
Okay.
This is the 400 call.
Okay. Yeah, I just had that one doubt. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll hand it over to you now.
Yes. Yes. You can see the presentation?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Okay. Hello, folks. This week we'll talk about diagonal calendar spreads. And of course, the standard disclaimer, futures and options trading is risky. So in the diagonal calendar spread is just a variation of calendar spread that we have talked about in the last two option stock sessions. So a diagonal calendar spread involves selling and buying of options of different strike prices and of different expiration periods. Okay, even strike prices are different, expiration periods of those strike prices are different. So it's also called in short as a diagonal spread. In a standard diagonal spread, back month in the money or at the money option strike is bought. Back the money means in the next month expiry or even far next month expiry. So that is bought. And front month, which is the current month, out of the money or far out of the money option strike is sold. So when weekly options can be used to have this kind of diagonal calendar spread. And this is a combination of vertical spread and calendar spread. So this I will explain in the next slides. A number of variations of diagonal spreads exist depending on the strikes chosen to place the trade. So you can make it into a directional spread, you can make it into a neutral spread, depending on the strikes you choose. And this is an intermediate level option strategy. So this kind of strategy should not be attempted by new traders. So, but you can learn how this trade is done. So as I said, this diagonal spread can be a directional or delta neutral strategy depending on strikes chosen. And this is a long volatility strategy, which I'll explain in the next slides. Ideal time to enter diagonal spreads is when volatility is very low or there is a backwardation in volatility. This is similar to what I explained in the calendar spread strategies. That is, the front month IV should be greater than back month IV. That is a backwardation in volatility. So at a low volatility conditions, you should enter this strategy. It benefits from faster time decay of front month options than the back month options, and also directional play of the back month option if you buy an in the money back month option. This is an income trade because of low margin requirements and a defined risk strategy. And diagonal put spreads are ideal when you are bearish, and diagonal call spreads when you are bullish. Now, as I explained before, the diagonal spread is a combination of vertical spread and calendar spread. So in the vertical spread, let's say this is a bull call spread, you're long at the money, and then you're shorting out of the money call option. So this is a long vertical spread, debit long, debit vertical spread. And then in the calendar spread, you're shorting the at the money front month option, and you're buying out of the money at the money back month option. So now if you combine these two, the long August 11,200 call and short August 11,200 call, they will cancel each other. And then what you have is this one, long back month 11,200 call, which is at the money, or you can also make it into in the money option. And then a short out of the money current month option. And that will make a diagonal spread. So that's why I said it's a combination of vertical spread and calendar spread. Okay, so the vertical spread gives the direction to this strategy, and the calendar spread gives the theta effect to this strategy. So this is how a standard diagonal spread looks. So what you're doing is a buying in the money call option, which in this case, in the case of Nifty is 11,000 call. And then we short out of the money call option of the front month, which is the August expiry, because now in July there is only 4 days. So we'll consider August as our front month option here.
Yeah, just one question, Raghunath.
Yes.
Any sort of time period till when you can buy the current month, maybe first half or something? Because now you're right, it is too late to buy July. So you're
Yes.
saying August long, but any cutoff like till the first 2 weeks of the current month or something like that?
Yes. So for the cutoff for the front month, it should be around 30 to 40 days. So
Oh,
between
so
that,
it can never be the same current month. If it is 30 to 40 days, it always has to be the next month.
yes, of course.
Okay,
So for example, the August is now you have like almost 30 days, right? 32 days.
right. Yeah,
So you can do that will be the front month for us. And then the next month will be the September. And for the
right.
weekly, I will show the rules, like, what are the number of days you need to take in mind. I have a slide for that. I will show the rules of entering
Okay.
the strategy. So this is the diagonal call spread. Now I will show the diagonal call spread here. So this is the diagonal call spread. And if you look here, the Greeks, now this is a long, this is a long option play, because this is positive delta, which is 25 delta, right? As I said, you have to use call diagonal spread for the bullish action. So now you're long, and therefore if it goes up, you gain from that. And if it goes down, then you will lose. And then this is also theta play, because if you are using short front month option and long back month option. And this is also Vega play, which is long volatility strategy that I talked about. So if the volatility increases, then this strategy will benefit from increase in volatility. Okay, this is the mechanics of this particular strategy. And then if we Okay, this is the diagonal call spread. So here, if it goes down in opposite direction, you can adjust it, and I will show the adjustments that you need to do. And if it goes in the other direction, then you don't have to do anything. You just wait for your target to hit. Now, diagonal call spread is also sometimes called as poor man's covered call. Why it is called poor man's covered call, I will tell you. So first we look at what is a covered call. Covered call is when you buy the futures, current month futures, and then you sell out of the money call option. In this case, this is a 35 delta call option. So usually people short a 30 delta call option to reduce the cost basis over the time. Okay, so now this could be futures or this could be cash. It is up to you. So this is a standard covered call. Now if you look at the requirement of this covered call strategy, so around 1,65,000 is the requirement for the covered call strategy. And also look at the profile of this strategy. This is an unlimited or undefined strategy, and the maximum profit is capped, is around 36,000 with this strategy. Now I will show a comparable diagonal call spread where you buy deep in the money call option, which is 10,000 call of the back month option. Okay, a deep in the money, and then you have 11,500 out of the money call option. Now if you look at the profile and compare it to the covered call, here you are getting around 30,000, which is comparable to what you are getting 36,000 max profit, but your risk is capped. It's kind of capped to only 84,000. This is the net debit that you pay for this strategy. This is the maximum loss. This 1284 minus 162, that will be the net debit. That is the maximum loss you have to bear in case the Nifty goes down. Now you look at the requirement, the requirement for this particular strategy is very less compared to, of course, you have to also include the debit in this case. Compared to with this both, it's almost half, it will be a half. So that is why it is called a poor man's covered call. And your risk profile is much better compared to the covered call. And also less requirement for the margin. And then we come to diagonal put spread. Again here, we buy a in the money put option, okay, and then sell out of the money put option. And this is a bearish strategy. So your delta will be negative. And then I'll show you the strategy here. If you look at the Greeks, so your delta is negative, so you're bearish, and theta is positive. Of course, it is expected. So you have like 100 rupees theta, and Vega is also positive. So if the volatility increases, then your payoff range also increases, and you will have also more profit from this strategy. And these are a high probability of profit strategies, both call calendar as well as diagonal call spread as well as diagonal put spread. And there are many flavors to this diagonal put spreads. And I think if I go on this, there will be like 20-30 different flavors with these diagonal spreads. But these are I'm only talking about standard diagonal put spreads. So if you go in detail, the max profit is difficult to define as it is dynamic and dependent on volatility of back month option at expiry. Because if the volatility drops down, then your max profit also goes down. If the volatility increases, the maximum potential profit also increases. So it's a theoretical estimation at this point of time. And the maximum loss is the debit paid for the spread, if it is a debit diagonal spread. right? If you go back here, the difference between these, like if the debit here is 582 minus 239, there is a debit paid. So that will be your maximum loss here. And there can be also credit diagonal spreads, which I've talked about maybe in some other occasion. In that case, it can be undefined, or like just like a max profit, it cannot be defined. And break even, again, just like max profit is difficult to define as it is dynamic and dependent on volatility. If volatility increases, the break evens also increase, break even range. And if the volatility drops, the break even range also decreases. So it's volatility dependent. So keep that in mind. Now, as I already talked, there is the effect of volatility. These diagonal spreads benefit from increase in volatility as they are long Vega trades. Vega measures the responsiveness of option price to changes in implied volatility. Positive Vega trade, as in this case, our diagonal spread, will benefit from increase in IV. Long dated options have higher Vega compared to short dated options. And that is why we benefit from increase in volatility in this diagonal spread. The price of long dated options increase more than short dated options price for same percent of increase in IV. And similarly, long dated options price decreases more than short dated options when IV drops. So also the thing here you have to remember is that we also lose when the volatility drops in this diagonal spread. And what is the effect of theta? Candle spreads are theta positive trades almost all the time. It means trade will benefit as the time passes, assuming everything else remains unchanged. Front month short options premium depreciates faster than back month option. So that is the bet we are placing on the diagonal spread, apart from the directional play that we are doing with the back month option. Theta of front month options higher than theta of back month options. So that is the play that we are doing here for the theta. What is the effect of delta and gamma? Diagonal put spread have negative delta, while diagonal call spreads have positive delta, which I have shown you in the figures that I have shown. And the back month in the money option comprises the directional component of the diagonal spread, right? The directional play is because of the in the money put option or the call option that we buy of the back month option. Diagonal spreads have negative gamma, and larger moves in wrong direction in the underlying is not favorable for diagonal spreads. And if you look at the payoff of the diagonal spread, it's very clear that if it goes in wrong direction, you quickly go into losses. And if this happens in the expiry week where there is high gamma risk, then it will be much more severe. And that is why to avoid the gamma risk, you have to exit the trade before the expiry week. Now, diagonal spread benefits when underlying moves in the direction of the spread. Okay, so for the diagonal put spread, if it moves in the bearish direction, that will be benefited for the diagonal put spread. And also when there is an increase in implied volatility because of the back month option, you benefit from that. And this suffers when underlying moves in the opposite direction of the spread and there is a decrease in implied volatility. And as I explained in the last slide, is because of gamma risk. So keep these 5 things in mind when you place a diagonal spread. Now, entry rules, as AP has asked, what will be the entry rules? For monthly option, you have to have at least 30 to 40 days to expiry of the front month option. And for this reason, it is difficult to do diagonal spreads or calendar spreads in the stocks. You can do, but you have to be extremely careful how to choose the diagonal spreads or the calendar spreads. And for weekly options, you should have at least 10 days to expiry of front front weekly option, so that you have enough credit, so that you receive enough credit to do this kind of spread. And low implied volatility is important for this diagonal spread. So IV percentile should be less than 40, or when backwardation of IV or front month IV and greater than back month IV. Now remember, these rules are ideal for ideal conditions. Even you can do even when there is IV is high, but you should be mindful that there will be volatility crash. That's a important thing that you have to remember. If you place this diagonal spread when volatilities are high, but ideal conditions are when the IV is low. And the ideal diagonal spread, as I've explained, is to buy back month in the money option or at the money option, and sell front month out of the money or far out of the money option. Now exit rules are target is 50% of initial max profit or maximum potential profit in this case, and stop loss will be same, 50% of initial potential max profit. If none of the above hits, whether target or the stop loss, exit on Friday or Monday before the expiry date to avoid gamma risk. So it could be in loss, it could be in gain, but you have to exit to avoid the gamma risk. Now adjustment is when the underlying moves in the wrong direction and stop loss is not hit yet. Now adjustment is by rolling up or rolling down the front month short option to collect more credit. So now it depends on the diagonal put spread or diagonal call spread. So let's look at the adjustment like here. So this is a diagonal put spread. So now let's say I have put a diagonal put spread here, and tomorrow market goes in the wrong direction. Okay, it reaches the break even. So now as it goes in this direction, what you have to do is that you move this put. This is a 11,000 put, right? You move this further closer to or to the at the money put option to collect more credit, because here the put option is more expensive than a put out of the money put option. So you collect more credit to stay alive in this trade. Of course, your profit potential goes down a bit, but you will still be alive in this trade. Okay, so you can do this adjustment as long as your stop loss is not hit. And similar way for the diagonal call spread, it is in the opposite direction and the same adjustment. You roll down your call option and collect more credit if the break even is trying to breach. Okay, so that is one option. Another adjustment is roll over the front month short option out in time. For example, you can move the front month option, for example, in this case, the August call option, you can move this to a weekly, next weekly, for example, maybe 6th August or 13th August, something like that, to collect more credit. If you get more credit, or even further in September weekly, when we approach that period. So that you can do out in time. Those are two options for the adjustments. Or the third option is do nothing till the stop loss hit. Okay, so these are the three adjustment options that you have. And happy if you don't have any more questions, I will talk about the trade idea.
Yeah, nothing from my side.
Okay, so the trade idea this time, I have waited for a long time because Nifty has been in a strong trend direction, but now I see that there could be some kind of weakness and just run up for a long time. So either it could rest here or it could go up a little bit up. So taking into all different scenarios, I have put this trade. So this is a diagonal put spread, and this is slightly different from a traditional or diagonal put spread that I've shown you. So here what we are doing is that we are shorting a slightly out of the money front month option. So in this case, August 10,800 put. Okay, and then we buy far out of the money back month option, which is 10,600 put. This is at September expiry. Okay, so this is a delta, almost slightly bullish, very slightly, and neutral trade, delta neutral trade. Okay, so here no adjustments are required. Okay, on the upside, your the loss is limited to around minus 3,400 or something, and on the downside, maximum loss is around 20,000. Now you exit the trade when the stop loss, when the futures price reaches 10,400 or rupees 6,500, which is 50% of the maximum potential profit. Okay, and the target is rupees 6,500. So the maximum profit potential is reached when it slowly moves to 10,800. Should not move very fast. It should move slowly, or if it stays at the same level, I think you get around 4,500 or something like that profit. So this is a trade idea for this week. Okay, that's all from me. And if you have any feedback, tweet to us and email us. And see you next week. Goodbye, folks.
Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.